If you're gonna pick up any Nintendo 3DS, you know, obviously I would say that the new Nintendo 3DS systems, whether that be the 3DS, the 3DS XL, or the new Nintendo 2DS XL, are the definitive systems. They're also getting up there in price just because they are the definitive systems. So really, if you want my true advice, if you're trying to just save some money or just get into the 3DS family of systems without breaking the bank, get a 3DS, 3DS XL, or even a 2DS, which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, nowadays the 2DS is the one that I play the most. Yeah, you know, just go for one of those systems, you'll save a lot of money, and you know, it's still moddable just the same as the new systems, and you're only gonna be missing out on those 4 games, and while those 4 games are rather substantial and are worth playing and experiencing and are rather mind-blowing to see running on the system, especially like Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, where that's truly like a jaw-dropping moment seeing that run on a 3DS. You know, there is ways to emulate those games, and while emulating isn't necessarily the most ideal situation in the world, it again just comes down to, hey, how much are you willing to break the bank to experience these games? If you're willing to go all out and break the bank, which I can completely understand as a collector, because I myself do not have a new 3DS system yet, but I do plan to get one eventually. I want to get the default size, just normal new 3DS. The XL systems are just a bit too big for me, but I do want to get one of those default new 3DS systems at some point. I totally understand where you're coming from if that's what you're saying, so, you know, if you're willing to spend a bit more, those would be the systems to get. But if you're just trying to get in, I would say probably go for the 2DS. That's probably the cheapest model, either that or the original 3DS. The 3DS XL is even starting to get up there in price, so I'd probably either go for the original 3DS or the 2DS. You know, if your eye, because for me, I can't really do 3D anyway, it just kind of messes with my eyes, makes me feel a little sick. But you know, if you want to experience that for the first time, if you never experienced 3D, I could probably recommend picking up an original 3DS, just so you can at least experience it. Play a game like Super Mario 3D Land on there. That's one of my favorite go-to examples of a game that really utilizes 3D well and makes you realize just like how limitless 3D really is, or like just how much potential is there for playing games in 3D. And it's really a shame that nobody else in the gaming industry really did anything with 3D after that. Like, even Nintendo themselves started to kind of drop support for 3D as the system went on, and the closest we've gotten to that since then is VR, but obviously VR is like a whole different thing. But, you know, playing some of those levels in Super Mario 3D Land or just some of the other games on 3DS, it's like truly just, it's a mind-blowing experience. So again, if you never experienced a 3DS like that, I could probably recommend that model, but either way, you can't go wrong with any of the systems. You know, the 3DS has an amazing library of games. There's thousands of games to play, not to mention the fact that it's also backwards compatible with original DS games as well, so, you know, you're gonna get a lot there. It can also play DSiWare games, so if you're looking for the ultimate DS system, the ultimate one would be a new Nintendo 3DS system, but if you're just looking for a general ultimate system that can play 2DS or 3DS, DS, and DSi games, go with a, you know, one of the 3DS systems. And then obviously once you mod it, then that opens the door for emulation. There's ways to play Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games on there, and like Neo Geo Pocket. If you can put like Atari stuff on there, which works really well because you have the circle pad for the full 360 degrees of movement. So the possibilities are truly endless.